Hello, today we're going to start talking about atoms. You should have learned last year what atoms are. You should have learned the periodic table. You should have learned about chemical reactions. Now, if you're wondering what all that is, I understand that you had a long summer and that you might forget some things over the summer, but you're in luck. Today we're going to go ahead and review those concepts because it is a foundation for a lot of concepts that we're going to be studying in 7th grade science. Okay, so what I want you to do, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and open your composition book to the notes section and take notes. I'm going to go through the presentation fairly quickly because this is a video. Usually in class I take my time on each slide to give you enough time to write down the vocabulary word plus the definition, but since this is a video, I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. Okay? If you need more time on each slide to write down the definition and the vocabulary word, go ahead and pause the video during each slide so you have enough time to write down the vocabulary word plus the definition. Let's go ahead and begin. So I want you to think about what an atom is and what does it make. If you said everything, then you're correct. Okay, it makes everything in the universe. Okay, the ceiling, the chair you're sitting on, okay, me, Mr. Fournier, the pencil that's in your hand, the TV that you watch every day, your cell phone that you use, everything is made of atoms. Living and non-living things are both made of atoms. So the definition I want you to write down for atoms is I want you to write everything in the universe is made of atoms. If you need to pause the video to write down the definition and the vocabulary word, go ahead and do so now. Our next word is subatomic particle. Atoms are made of bits of electricity called subatomic particles. They are the parts of an atom, and there's 3 different types of subatomic particles. All 3 are found inside atoms. Protons has a positive charge. Okay, it says right here, protons, positive charge. Neutrons have a neutral charge, which means 0. Okay, and electrons have a negative charge. The sign for an electron, by the way, you learned in math, is a negative. Okay, can anybody think of the sign or the symbol for a positive charge? If you said positive, okay, you are correct. Or the plus sign, rather. Okay, now let's take a look at the inside of an atom and see where these different subatomic particles are at. First of all, you're going to see that the center of the atom is actually called a nucleus. Okay, all atoms have this central part, okay, called the nucleus. Okay, the outer part of the atom is called the orbital. Orbital. Okay, now let's take a look at the nucleus, the inside part of an atom. The nucleus contains both protons and neutrons. Those are the type of subatomic particles you're going to find on the inside of an atom, the nucleus. In the orbital section, you're always going to find the electrons. The electrons orbit around the nucleus. What you need to remember from this slide is that protons have a positive charge, neutrons have a neutral charge, and electrons have a negative charge. Now I have some tricks that help me remember the charges of each subatomic particle. Look at the word proton. Okay? What letter does it start with? It starts with a P. Okay? Now look at the letter that positive starts with. It starts with the P as well. Okay? I remember P for positive. That helps me remember that a proton is positive. Okay? Now let's look at the word neutron. Okay? And the word neutral. They both start with an NEU. The letters NEU. Okay? So neutron is neutral. And there's no memory trick for remembering electrons being negative. You just got to remember. Okay? So guys, another word for atoms is elements. Some of you have noticed that I have a periodic table in the back of my classroom. And if you were to count every single one of those boxes, you would see that there's 118 different boxes within the periodic table in my classroom. Each little box represents a specific type of atom or element. Examples of elements are hydrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. Once again, the periodic table, it shows the different types of elements. There is a difference within the atoms. Different elements differ in the amount of protons and electrons within the atoms. For example, within a hydrogen atom, you're going to find that there's only one proton and one electron. Let me show you a picture so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, take a look at this image here. This is a hydrogen atom. Okay, hydrogen is a type of element. Okay, so take a look here at the center. Okay, this is the nucleus, and here I have only one proton. Okay, look at the orbital. You're only going to find one electron here. Okay, I know that this atom is a hydrogen atom. Why? Because it has one proton and one electron. All atoms that have one proton and one electron are hydrogen atoms. Okay? Now, let me show you a different element. I'm going to show you uranium. Okay, uranium is an element that's used for making nuclear bombs and make things go boom. Okay, and another reason we use uranium is to power our nuclear power plants. Now, all atoms that have 92 protons within the nucleus, okay, and 92 electrons in the orbital are uranium. Take a look at this atom. Okay, as you can see, there's quite a bit of protons here in the nucleus. There's 92. The red spheres are protons. Okay? The green spheres are electrons. So all atoms that have 92 protons and 92 electrons are uranium atoms or uranium elements. Okay? That's what's different between one element and another element. Each element has its own unique set of protons and electrons.